Today I'm here to induct Deke Astle Sr. into the Hall of Fame. I am truly disappointed that he couldn't make it here today, but he did leave me a note to read to his fellow friends and competitors. I am humbled by be inducted into the Hall of Fame. Thank you for the committee who saw fitting to include me in such a great elite group. Many are my friends and former competitors. We raced in an era where it was fun on and off the track. Congratulations to all this year's inductees. All the best, Deke. Thank you. I really am disappointed that he's not here. He's one of my best friends in life. I knew him since I was a kid when he was my idol and we were neighbors. I grew up with his kids. And in 1953, the Astle racing family, as is known as Seekonk Speedway, was born. Deke drove 27 holes down to the old Ponte Delgado. He drove it there 6 miles, and that started his racing career. It was a straight 8-cylinder that had a crack the length of the block, and that started his race. He's tried Kingston and Lonsdale before. Seekonk Speedway became his home track. By the mid-60s, racing was incredible. I mean, as a kid, and us kids and fans, we were spoiled to see that Hall of Fame races were happening. When I look back, every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday afternoon, we saw Hall of Fame racing that we took for granted. It was fun. We had personalities back then as race car drivers that were bigger than the race itself. And as kids, we saw something happen, we'd jump into the pits to see what was breaking out, or even the wives were arguing out in the stands. It was great. The places were packed everywhere we went. We were blessed with that as kids, and it'll never be the same. But Deke in the mid-60s was coming into his own, becoming a track champion amongst Hall of Famers. And I'm sitting alongside Ron Bouchard, who said as a kid Deke Astle was his idol, along with Judge Summers and Buck Stevens. So he was in an era where if you won, and as all of you know, you did something great, and Deke won a lot. He had 28 victories at the Seekonk Speedway, but then he started spreading out where tracks wanted to hold you back and try to hold you, because it was long before the tours happened, where the track didn't want to lose a star to another track, so they tried to hold you back. He's won at the high banks of a real tight place at the Westboro Speedway with the Falcone family, Lee, Star Speedway. Before he started to really get into the dirt side, he wanted to experiment with dirt. Langhorne and Nazareth, and he's won at Lebanon Valley, the high banks there. In one of I asked him, "Hey, Deke, what's your biggest win?" He said, "They're all good. You know, I raced against people and we had fun." He said he was there to make money. He built cars in a 10-by-20 garage, where not a lot of people could help him because there was no room for anybody in there but him, and he certainly liked things his own way. As a kid, if we were in that garage, he'd say, "Hey, boy," and everybody who knows Deke, he had some one-liners. One of them was, "Hey, boy, you're going to hang around, you're going to sand or clean. Otherwise, get out of the garage." That was a Saturday morning. Or he saw a nice car come in, he'd go up to the guy and say, "You got a buck." Because Deke was cheap. I didn't know that. You weren't supposed to waste 15 minutes in coffee cans trying to find the right bolt that fits in the car. Deke saved everything, and as much as he liked the fun part of it, he was there to make money also because he couldn't afford it being a Mason. If you look in Seekonk Speedway on the backstretch, the Cement Palace, them steps on the backstretch, Deke Astle poured them. He was a Mason. He was part of Seekonk. He'll be part of Seekonk forever, the Astle racing family. Well, on the dirt part, he's going to try Volusia County. He goes down there with a Volkswagen mini stock. And that in there in line, and this is one of his stories that he likes, he said they were laughing at us. The threads were showing on the tire, which they thought was going to make the car go faster. Well, at Volusia County, when they were all laughing, he said, "Hey, boy, let them laugh." He got the cigar going. Wally Saliver's one that coined that, the little man with the big cigar. That was Deke. I see pictures right now. And it was one of Henry Red Barber, one of the stars of Seekonk. And the next car was cut off. At the window, you couldn't see the face, but you saw the cigar. That was Deke. You never saw him without a giant cigar laced in the inside. Let me get back to Volusia County. He wins that. The first night, and everybody's shaking their heads. The second night comes out, he's going away in this Volkswagen and they're shaking their heds. The third night, he pushes the winner across the line. The guy says, you know what, we're going to approach that sidecar. Deke goes around, he parks it at the start-finish line. The crew comes out with a toolbox and pulls the motor out of the Volkswagen and puts it on the wall. He says, you can keep it, we're going home. They looked at it, it was worth $200, the motor. And they said, no, take the motor, take the motor. They couldn't believe that a junk motor was making these records at Volusia County. Deke had his own ways. I mean, once the pro stock started and the tour started, he was kind of winding down, but he had an idea that he could win at Seacom Speedway with a 6-cylinder. And all the things lined up right for him, and without a late restart, he won the race with a 6-cylinder. He proved it to everybody. He told me that if he would have had a late restart, he probably would have finished 4th or 5th. But everything worked out for Deke. I'm so disappointed that he's not here today. And his daughter, Deb, is going to accept for him. In closing, thank you so much for having me. I asked Bruce Cohen, please let me do this for Deke because we're lifelong friends. Then he called me back. I said, oh dear, I'm getting disqualified for this. There's no way they're going to let me do this for Deke. But Deke is a personal friend. I spend almost every day stopping by and checking on him. And thank God for the 60s and 70s for me for racing, because I will never forget that era in time. And this makes me realize how important that era was to racing. Thank you so much. Deb, come on up. Lifelong friend. We got pictures of our dads holding each other as we were kids, and here's Deb.
Thank you, Steve. That was really great. I'm also very disappointed that my dad couldn't be here, but he's having surgery this week, nothing big. He's in great shape. He had an overhaul about 2 years ago. Triple bypass, valve replacement. He's good for another 50. He's going to outlive all of us. So he's doing well, and I'm honored to accept this for him. And thank you so much for recognizing his achievements throughout his life. And I wouldn't have wanted to grow up in any other type of family. I had such a great childhood. We'd be on vacations, no matter what state it was. People, Deke, what's going on? And we were all amazed that no matter where he went, everybody knew him. And I, like Steve, will never forget that era of racing, and I will always be a fan of racing. And Deke the 4th is coming soon. We have a Deke the 4th. So thank you so much.
There's a reason that Deke always had a cigar. After hearing Steve's speech, we know why. It was a victory cigar.